Boruto Episode 3, Metal Lee Goes Wild. I actually really liked this episode. I thought it was pretty funny. Although it was focusing on, Metal Lee was the title for it, I feel like it really focused more on Shikadai, so I thought it was pretty cool for that because we got to see Shikamaru and Tamari, and it was so funny watching that because I'm like, wow, this dude, Shikamaru, is like trapped in an eternal loop because his mother was exactly like Tamari, and she acts exactly how his mother acted towards him to their son, and it was the funniest thing to me watching that. And he's like, oh, it's cool, you know, he grows up and he's not a perfect kid, I wasn't perfect, so he gets scolded and he grows up and he matures. And his son is like, cool, and then he's like, great. And he's about to take another drink, and he looks at Tamari, and she is effing pissed. And I was like, this is hilarious. He's trapped in an internal loop of just not wanting to deal with this crap. So it was just really funny. I love that sequence, but really great scene there. We find out that Metal Lee actually has stage fright. He's super awesome, just like Rock Lee. You know, all the kids are doing their shuriken training, which was a hilarious start to the episode with Shino like, okay, you know, make sure you guys are careful because you might hit your classmates. And he was like, oh snap, and then he had to like jump out of the way because the kids are just like, sweet, and they're just throwing freaking shuriken at the logs and stuff. And he's like, oh my god, like they were really clustered together. I was like, somebody should probably end up getting killed here because they were so tight knit. But you know, it goes to Inojin. He's really good at it. I don't know what Boruto was doing. It's Boruto, like he was in the background somewhere. But we get to see Inojin. He's really good at it. Shikadai, he's really good at it, and of course Lee is good at it as well, or Metal. And you know, he's good. He does like they do it twice too, where he has like the dragon pose, and he's able to do two at one time. And when he goes crazy, whatever this dark chakra cloak thing is, once it finally gets revealed, when that took him over. When it was the boys going up against him and they were behind him, he just did like this, like whatever, and he had like perfect aim behind him. So he's really great with shuriken actually. But you know, we get to see them and it's like, wow, he's actually pretty good at it. And when he heard them behind him like saying like, wow, he's good, he got stage fright, and they do like that sound effect when he threw it, it's just like, and he just hit the ground. I was like, this is pretty funny. So I love that sequence. And then of course Boruto comes out with probably one of my favorite weapons in the whole anime, which is the Demon Wind Shuriken. I just think I always thought it looked really cool. So it flies at him. Everybody dodges but Metal. So it's like no big deal. This piece of crap is like it's you know, it's shaky and stuff in the air. I can just hit this with a leaf hurricane, no big deal. And then the Clash rep girl, because they don't say her actual name in this episode, so I don't remember what it is. But she's like, you know, she freaks out, and then he gets stage fright, and he was still able to pull the kick off. I thought Shino was gonna have to save him. With his little beetle button jacket he was wearing. But he actually still pulls the kick off, except unfortunately he hits right in between where the hole is for your hand, and he gets spun into the log, which is a hilarious looking scene. They did some really funny stuff with him in this episode, but I really like that. Of course, for whatever reason, just, I don't know, to have all the kids together, Shino is like, everybody's in trouble, so everybody has to go to the office, and so they all have to go work on Naruto's face from basically the Mount Rushmore of Hokage, the Great Stone Faces. So, you know, they're doing that, everything's working out fine. And then, of course, Lee is the last one to be working on his side of the stone. So he starts freaking out and he's just going really fast and he hits a crack and just brings down the whole effing thing, destroys it all. And Shikadai kind of talks to him, it's like, you know, you gotta relax a little bit. It's like, you can have all the skills in the world, but clearly when you get nervous, that doesn't mean anything. So, you know, he actually gets a life lesson a little bit when he gets home and stuff from his dad, unintentionally really. But I thought that was cool. You know, we get to see, you know, his home life a little bit, and it, you know, this one kind of expanded on the other characters, so I like that because it really didn't focus much on Boruto outside of him getting everyone in trouble and the ending sequence where we actually do see him go home because he does end up activating his eye again, which we still don't know what the deal is with that, but he sees this, whatever this dark chakra aura is, over Metal Lee, and it's like, oh crap, it's happening again. So he goes to his mom, and he's talking with his sister. He like bends down and looks in her eyes and stuff after she makes like the little pouty face. And that was a cool little sequence. And then he's talking to his mom, like, you know, stuff with your Byakugan. And she's like, yeah, I have it, and your uncle. And then goes to this old picture of everybody, which I'm just going to assume that this is during like the Sasuke retrieval arc, because that's the only time everybody was together. But they have this picture, and then they go to Neji, and I was like, ah, Neji. Like, it was like, wow, they just went straight to Neji. The Superman, I always love his costume. He always had one of my favorite outfits from the original series with just like the jacket and stuff. But I was like, man, they just showed Neji. I thought that was great. But, she talks about the Byakugan and what you can see. And when she mentions chakra, he was like, man, was that just chakra that I was seeing? Like, just a different version of it, because he's still in training. So I was like, that's kind of a cool way to do it, where he's like, maybe it was just chakra. So, he has this still mysterious eye activated, but it was a great moment just to see Neji's picture. I was like, wow, they, kind of just to have that in there. But, we see that. We see Naruto come home, and he's just so tired. He's like, thanks, but I'm going straight to bed. That's one of the weird things with Boruto, where, you have this character, and now it's like he's so insanely busy. The weird thing about his character is that he's transitioned from, the main character being like this epic dude who's always like, I go for the gold, never do this, and never get tired and all that. And it's just like, I'm just tired all that time. I can't deal with this. And he's never with his kids and stuff. And it's weird. It's kind of weird watching, seeing Naruto in Boruto as an adult. And it's just like, man, he's just not, he's working. He's the Hokage. He's super effing busy. Hinata basically doesn't look like she even aged. She looks exactly the same as from Shippuden, which is like really funny to me. But it's just weird. It's like, man, it's so weird to watch Naruto be that character. It's such a different version of him. So it's weird watching that. But I'm already used to it, because like I watched Boruto the movie. That was the whole point of that film. Was them kind of doing that. So seeing it go backwards, it's really weird, because it's going to be a lot of the series until we finally get to the like main story arc, or where they are in the manga. So that'll take forever. That might take multiple seasons, because this is like way back filler style. But it was still pretty cool. So I like seeing the home dynamics. We got to see that for a little bit. But I like what they did. We also got to see, honestly, a pretty cool fight scene. After they all got chased down and they were back at the training grounds, we actually got a pretty decent fight sequence where the boys all team up to take on Metal. And Boruto actually uses Shadow Clone, while Inojin uses snakes to act like shadows, because it's like, okay, so of course we have our shadow paralysis person, we have our shadow clone person, we have our super beast scroll person, mix these things together, and they came out with a really great plan. I was like, that was actually genius, because I was like, I just assumed that it was like, yeah, he used shadow clones and the paralysis thing, and that was pretty much it. But it was like, nope, it was a transformation jutsu with Boruto. That way Shikadai didn't have to use up as much chakra, because that probably would have been an issue for him. But that was pretty awesome. I was like, that was actually, it was a decent little fight. I was like, that was some really good tactics, and I thought it was pretty sweet. And then we almost see Metal League, because he's like losing it. I was like, he's not actually about to go like 8 gates, is he? Because they will die. Like even when the fight first started, it was like, man, if he punches me, I'll be dead. So I'm like, if he goes 8 gates, they will be destroyed. Unless, once again, I was like, I feel like Shino has to come out and help them. But, excuse me, fortunately, it got super silly, because he was trying to break out, and like that little piece snapped off, and then he just spun off into the second log and knocked it down, and the spirit kind of just left him alone after that. So I was like, okay, well, he's good. So funny way to end it. And the kids are trying to help him not be so nervous. So when he busts him later on, it's like, oh, you guys aren't trained, I'm gonna turn you guys in. They try to trick him with the video game, like, yeah, we're, it's teamwork and it helps you relax. Someone had a funny tweet where they took a picture of Lee with the game and Boruto saying, yeah, and it helps you relax. He was like, they look like they're trying to sell Metal Lee drugs. I thought that was really funny. But of course he snaps, and he literally also snaps the game. So of course Boruto freaks out from that, and the episode just ends. But it was a good episode. I'm excited for the next one, because we actually get to see Sada come into play as kind of a big element where they're fighting over food, and that's pretty much it. It's Boruto versus Sada. So I'm looking forward to that, just because I'm actually excited for how they've been doing the action as of late. The last episode I thought was pretty good, with kind of the flashback fight, and just a little bit with the references in there. And this one I thought was just really good because of the way the boys work together to use their abilities. I was like, that's actually kind of awesome. So I'm looking forward to what we're going to get in the next episode. I know we won't get to see anything Sharingan related, because of the manga. All that stuff is like way after where we currently are on Boruto. Like if you read Naruto Gaiden, or if you've seen Boruto the movie, all that stuff is way later. So Sada doesn't have the Sharingan just yet. I'm sure Boruto, like his eye ability probably won't come into play, because I think they're going to save that for a super long time. I don't think he'll be using that until we get to like the crazy future portions and all that stuff. So at this point, it's just like, they're kind of just making it up as they go, because of course it doesn't show up in the Boruto movie, because that was probably before they knew that they were going to actually have a Boruto series. So, I'm sure we won't see anything like that. It might show up again. depending on how things play out, I doubt that Sada is going to get that upset that this thing is going to like take over her body and go nuts with it, because that seems to be the thing where, you know, with Denki in the beginning, he was like really losing it because his father wanted him to do this, he's getting bullied and stuff. So there are just a lot of elements bringing him down, and Metal had the same thing in this episode where he's so nervous that he can't be the ninja that he really wants to be because he gets like stage fright and stuff, and he kind of got talked down to a little bit. So it really messed him up, and that's how the thing was like, oh, this is who I target next. So I don't think Sada is going to be like that childish about it. I think she's a bit more mature than that, than to really lose it and get controlled by this monster in the next episode. But we'll have to find out when that episode comes. But I thought this was a good one. Of course, we'd love to know what you guys thought about it, so please comment below. Let me know your favorite parts, your least favorite parts were. I definitely want to know what you guys thought about the family dynamics in this episode. We got to see like just a little hint, especially with Boruto, it's like a small hint, but we got to see like, you know, the Nara family. We actually got a pretty decent, you know, little scene with them, and I love that. I really thought it was great seeing older Shikamaru and older Tamari and just how they interact with their son, and how Shikamaru and his son are exactly the same, and they both say what a drag, and Tamari's like, what were you guys thinking? I bet it was what a drag, and then they're like, oh crap. And she doesn't cook them food. I was like, holy crap, they just starve. That's nuts. And that's when I was like, Shikamaru was trapped in a loop, which was funny to me. But really want to know what you guys thought about, you know, what we got to see from the family dynamics, especially from the Nara clan, because it was cool to focus on the family outside of Boruto, especially if you've seen the movies. Like, he's the main character. We know those characters, it's fine. So it was cool to see the Nara clan and, you know, in their house and stuff. So I really loved that. But we'd love to know what you guys thought about that. This episode in general. This is super random, but as you guys can see, I'm wearing a Ruby hat. If you guys know a place where I can get like a really sweet Naruto hat or a Boruto hat, please let me know, because I would definitely love to have one for when I do these reviews. I actually have a Naruto hat or a Boruto hat at least. So if you know a place where I can get like a really sweet hat, like a baseball style cap for Naruto or Boruto that looks really sweet, please put it down in the comment section below, like a store or a website or wherever. Just let me know, because I'm really looking for one right now. But like I said, I want to know what you guys thought about this episode, so please comment below, let me know, and thanks for watching.